Okay, well, we're the first episode of what at first I'm just going to call Rich and Friends because that is accurate. This is where I find some people that I just love spending time with, and we just try and have some fun and flow and just do something that's entertaining. Hopefully, it would be a fun distraction for anyone who's watching or listening, and it'll be fun for us to do. So I'm joined with two of my closest friends, especially here in LA, two of literally the most talented improvisers I know. They're both improvisers for a very number of years. They both teach at the West Side Comedy Theater. Rolland Lopez is my partner in crime in Rolland and Riches, where we've toured a bunch of festivals. Landon Kirksey we're both from the home state of Texas, and we actually we both studied at 4-Day Weekend together, improv troupe there, where once Landon even ran the training center.
I sure did. Ran it straight into the ground.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I didn't.
The laughs are starting.
I did very well there.
Thanks for being on, guys. You're two of my best friends, and I feel like I'm talking to you formally, and that's weird, but also fine.
Well, we can't see each other anymore. You know, like this virus has torn us all apart. So we gotta be above that, and if we have to get together. This is finally the utopia that I've always imagined, where no one leaves.
This is what you wanted.
This is what I wanted all along. Like
selfishly, he's not talking about for all the people who are bad off. No, I didn't want there to be a virus to happen to make it so, but you know what? Well, Rolland, how you holding up in the indoor lifestyle?
Well, I'm wearing a beanie, as you can see, so that should tell you something.
It does.
Usually, I care enough about my appearance to do something with my hair in the morning. So,
Rolland, I'm sorry,
that's not going to happen today.
Your 311 cover band that you.
Is it? I thought we were doing this in 1996. Did you lie to me?
Oh, God. We didn't have this technology. Guys, in 1996, this would have been physically impossible.
Yeah.
It would have been. It would have been we would have been postage stamp size and grainy.
Yeah. And that's if we were on, like, government supercomputers.
True.
So here's something that I just wanted to throw out there that's fun. I stopped at a grocery store last night, and I did the hoarding thing that everyone's doing, and just like 100.
Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Being part of the solution.
Yeah. So I just have like 100 cans of things now in my pantry. And one thing I did is I was like, oh, I bet bread is hard to find. And it kind of was. So I got 2 big loaves of sourdough bread. And the only thing
was it because you didn't know which aisle it was in? Because they usually have signs.
That's my problem.
Yeah, or feel free to ask.
I'll be like, where's the bread? Forget it. I'll get the manwich and I'll just eat it out of the can.
This is the utopia I've always wanted.
I didn't mean it for it to get here this way. But if I could just eat manwich out of the can, then I'm cool.
Without a virus, this would be great.
So just to be sure, Landon, your utopia is no one leaves their house. You play video games all day and eat manwich out of a can.
Yes, sir.
And drink beer.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Great. But so I bought 2 big loaves of sourdough bread. The only thing I'm about to put out was peanut butter and jelly. And now I realize, hey, bread goes bad. So like I'm now eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches like every meal just to try and not waste the bread that I bought.
Braggart.
Well, I think that's smart. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry about this, King Sourdough, sitting on your throne of bread.
Am I bragging? I didn't mean to brag.
You're throwing it to all the plebes
people without
out here
bread.
with no bread.
No bread.
Exactly.
Walking up and
peanut
down
butter
the
and
aisles.
jelly off of their fingers, Rich. You've got luxurious sourdough bread to enjoy.
And first, Landon has to wipe the manwich off his hand first.
That's right. And it stains, my friend. It stains.
All right, cool. Cool. What's one thing that you have plenty of right now that you're like, I don't need to go out for this ever?
Oh God. Adipose fat.
All right. Okay. Great.
What is that? Is that one of your 311 songs that you were covering, or?
What the one thing I have? One thing I have plenty of. To be fair, I started with it, but it's certainly gotten bigger. I've hoarded more of it over the course of this quarantine. Has been the belly fat surrounding my bodice, if you will.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. So you won't run out of fat.
No, I could probably not eat for like until the end of the quarantine, I should probably do that. I should probably not. I would be so lean.
I don't think you can call it intermittent fasting at that point.
At that point, that point, you've given up completely.
That's just hibernation.
Well, I'm not moving, right?
Right.
I get up in the morning. I still have to work, which is a whole other issue because it sounds great. I mean, it's great having money. Horrible trying to concentrate when like the world is falling apart. But I roll out of bed, like everybody else, and go to my desk. That's probably 100 feet. Every so often, I might have to go to the bathroom, and then I go to bed. I'm not moving at all.
Yeah.
And I'm still eating a ton. I'm eating like I'm doing a marathon.
Yeah, you just train. It's a deferred marathon. You'll get to it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Carbo loading is on point.
Yeah, you're carbo loading and you're never unloading. So that's nice.
I have enough toilet paper to answer your question sincerely. Nice. I have enough toilet paper to last me. I didn't hoard any, but I bought one thing of toilet paper, and I'm good for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Landon, what are you good on right now?
I got one of those big ass cartons of goldfish, and and I would say that's going to last me, but it's not. We all know it's not. Like it's going to be gone in a couple of days.
What I really like to do is I like to eat the manwich with my hand, and then while it's still wet, stick it into the box of goldfish, because then I don't have to actually do anything. They will stick there.
They stick to that. Well, and that's actually my biggest complaint about the carton O goldfish, because it's a giant milk carton, right? And so you have to pour. You can't really stick your hand down.
You have to open. Yeah, you'd have to open it up. Yeah.
Sure, then you can't. I have large manly hands, right? My hands are so manly. I sound like Trump in 2016. But like I have dainty tiny hands. But even my dainty tiny hands can't really manage to grab a sizable, satisfactory handful of goldfish for me. So I have to pour them out. So there's a lot of them, but the carton is a little weird.
Landon, I can honestly say you have it the roughest that I have heard of so far.
Let me tell you, I don't want to. I'm not trying to say anything here, but I'm a damn hero. Is really what it comes down to.
I know a medical doctor who's concerned about his PPE, but you're the hero, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm always concerned about my PPE, and I don't even know what that is. That's probably a different thing for me.
It sounds concerning. Yeah. It sounds really concerning. All right, guys, I got a couple prompts here that we can throw out here. Like, here's one that's visual. I'm gonna see if I can figure out the tech on this. So what I'm gonna show you is a headline from an article that was on my Facebook feed, and I deleted everything but just the headline. And I want y'all to guess at what the content is. So I'm gonna do a.
I figure if we can't do that, the headline is probably not well written.
Well, probably, yeah. Here we go. Share. Boom. Can y'all see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the headline is, "It's much, much bigger than we thought."
Isn't that a quote from Jaws?
Maybe, but it was not about Jaws. It was not about Jaws.
I can't keep stopping. I'm still thinking about my PPE. So,
is it much, much bigger than we thought?
It's much, much bigger than I thought. So,
well, that's because you've got dainty hands.
That's true. I do. Yeah, I have dainty hands.
That helps.
Much, much bigger than we thought. The crisis.
Yeah, that's the obvious thing, right? Because when I just saw the headline, I was like, "Oh God, the crisis is much bigger than I thought." Nope, not whatsoever. And again, remember, it's my Facebook feed, so if you know anything about me, which you both know at least one thing about me, Land, any other guesses?
Is this going back to the old CVS receipts? Because now we gotta. I mean, it's an old thing, and they
look. If you just type in this code on this survey, you have a chance to win $5,000.
Perfect. I love that.
Is it a it's a scientific thought.
Yeah. It's the galaxy, guys. They found the edge of the Milky Way galaxy.
Galaxy's bigger than we thought.
It's much, much bigger than we thought.
I feel like
I'm glad these scientists are doing constructive things instead of trying to find a cure. That's cool.
They're staying in their own lane. They're staying in their own lane, Landon.
I think of
it. Way to go, nerds. Way to go. There's a virus happening, you nerds.
They're looking for answers. They're just not looking here.
They made CBS All Access free for a month. Go get all the Picard you want and come back and look for a cure for Corona. Come on.
I didn't know they made CBS All Access free for a month. That's
I'm
good to
pissed.
know.
I paid
They
for
sure
2 months.
did.
I'm pissed.
Oh no,
What a sucker you are.
Roland, you literally have it the worst of anyone I've heard of so far.
I'm a goddamn
Not
hero.
me. I saw this coming. I said, you know what? Picard's coming out, but I'm going to wait for a horrible pandemic to happen, and then they'll make CBS All Access free for a month. And I'll watch all the Picard I want.
With my goldfish.
With my goldfish.
Oh my goodness. I believe HBO is free for a month as well.
I feel like it's much, much bigger than we thought regarding the Milky Way, the edges of the Milky Way galaxy. I feel like anyone could have said that at any point in time.
Sure.
And that would have been accurate.
Right.
It's very possible that, like, even, 30 years from now, they say it again.
Oh, yeah. They'd be like, it's more than we thought.
Yeah. I remember seeing the Milky Way galaxy, like, not having to drive too far out. And I'm older than both y'all, but I used to not have to drive too far out with my parents to be able to actually see the
oh yeah
get out
the swatch,
the gas lanterns on the street they're rolling.
Yes, I would actually go with the little thing to put them out at night.
Once you were done sweeping chimneys and lighting the street lights, then you and your family got in your buggy and drove to the edge of town so that you could see the Milky Way.
On weekends,
it's all we could afford, sir.
But have you seen, like, the last time, even driving, Rich, you and I have driven, like, late at night from desolate areas, and it's still kind of difficult to see because Vegas has gotten so huge that, like, there's still light.
Right, yeah.
When we're driving that area.
I think the most clear I've seen it from the continental United States is Joshua Tree.
Right. And then Hawaii, probably?
Hawaii is the clearest I've ever seen because in Hawaii, it's on top of an, 8,500 foot elevated mountain. And, you're literally above the clouds. So, when you drive, it's Mount Haleakala. When you drive, you can drive the whole thing. It's a 2-lane, wide paved road. And you just keep going up and around and around and around. All of a sudden, the clouds, you're just, in them, and then you're above them. It was the trippiest thing. And you're kind of significantly above them, too. You're not just, right above them. And
Can I ask you a question about that trip, Rich?
Yes.
How much sourdough did you eat on that, you Richie Rich, huh?
I ate just Hawaiian rolls in Hawaii.
You're sitting there above the clouds, looking down at all your peasants.
Nom.
Eating all your sourdough bread with your toilet paper.
Yeah.
Peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mix the toilet paper and then the sourdough.
No.
Yeah. Landon, have you been in a place where you could see the Milky Way from just
Yeah, absolutely. Middle of nowhere, Texas. Definitely have seen it in the hill country and the desert of Texas. I've seen it out here too. I've not been to Joshua Tree, but I've definitely been out into the desert area.
Yeah, Palm Springs, that kind of stuff. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, sure, that direction as well. So yes, I've definitely seen the Milky Way. It's gorgeous. Recommend it.
They're doing good. They should come out with a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought it was smaller. I thought it was smaller than I thought. So I don't want to be. I'm not trying to complain.
You fool!
Much bigger.
It's much bigger than we thought.
You're right.
So I'm kind of curious. This is my first day back in LA in 2 weeks since the quarantine started. But I've seen some pictures and it looks like the air quality's better than it was. I wonder if we could see if we went out tonight. It's keeping distance from everyone. But if we're close to see it now without all that stuff.
But maybe, but we're still dealing with lights, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, the light stuff.
It's more the light pollution. Yeah.
We should need to. Okay, great. Let's problem solve here. Let's get Russia involved. Get a fake Facebook story that says the virus is attracted to light, and then we'll have some sort of quiet place bird box scenario where no one really knows what to do.
Jesus.
And then
quiet place and bird box.
Hey, look, I'm just talking about dumb movies that I haven't seen, and so then we just turn all the lights go off because no one wants to get it, and then boom, Milky Way.
Milky Way. Right. Great.
We've got that solved. Solution found.
All right, let's do a quick round of these. I came up with, okay, if you had the power to rename something, I'm going to give you something, and you had the power to rename it. Like, give me like your first thought.
Can I trade that power in for a box of goldfish?
We can't all be sultans.
Sultans.
Yeah. Saltines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go.
Can't all be saltines.
Can
like Landon and his box of goldfish.
That's right.
All right. What would you, if you could rename it? What would you rename puberty? Like, I'm not going through puberty.
The gloaming.
The gloaming?
I don't know what that means. That's that's a name for something else, right?
I'm going through the gloaming. Sorry, I'm going through the gloaming.
I'm in stage 1 of the gloaming.
Yeah.
What's the name of the swamp where the horse dies in the Never-Ending Story?
I don't know.
It's not the what is that?
Something
it's
of
not
tears.
the bog of eternal stench.
No,
that's not it. That's in some other thing.
It's not Dagobah. I know that.
No.
What was the
swamp?
What was the name of the
now I gotta
swamp
look it up.
that where the horse died in the Never-Ending Story?
It's not the Pit of Despair.
You don't actually have an Alexa, do you, Len?
Yeah.
I don't know why she's not answering me.
Swamp of Sadness. Swamp of Sadness.
Hey Google, get me a Google. Hey Google, get me a Google Home.
It's Swamp of Sadness.
Swamp of Sadness.
That's what I would call. That's what I would call puberty.
You would call puberty. All right.
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty dead on.
I'm going through the Swamp of Sadness. I love it. What would you rename the Marvel Universe?
You mean the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like what?
Yeah, just like instead of
here we go.
I think it's very important that you tell me exactly which universe we're talking about. Because it could be the multiverse, in which case there's a bunch of other ones.
My dog wanted to get in on that. Come here, Max.
I would rename it the
Marvel
Universe. Ugh, God. That'd be the whole name.
That'd be the
Marvel Universe. Oh, God.
That'd be a lot. You'd have to write out a lot of A's, I think. Maggie! Rolland, are you just so in love with the name that you wouldn't?
The Marvel Universe. I would call it. I would call it Fred.
Nice.
Just, yeah.
Nice.
Go, hey, Fred.
What if we just swap it and we rename it Puberty?
Nice.
That'll work.
All right. What would you rename Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Oh, Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
I like that. I can't improve upon that.
Nope, that's perfect. We got to move on. And lastly, what would you rename Pornhub?
CNN.
I would Pornhub. I would rename it.
And this is, by the way, I'm just coming at that with no familiarity with what you're talking about.
No, yeah, I know.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, I read about it in an article. Apparently, a lot of people are
I haven't even done that. I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no recollection.
They wrote about it in the Atlantic. I'd never heard of it before.
Man's best friend is what I would call it.
Now that's a good name.
Thank you.
They did.
Now, the Atlantic. I masturbate to the Atlantic all the time.
It's better than the New Yorker. They actually did rename Pornhub. I mean, if you type in Pornhub, it still takes you to Pornhub, but the actual logo they changed it to Stay at Home Hub.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Pornhub is doing their part to help us all stay home, guys.
Thank goodness.
Their new motto: "We'll help you stay home for at least 2.5 minutes."
Nice, very good.
I feel like they were doing that before.
Pornhub. They were on you.
They were. They're really. It's one of those things where they're a hero just by doing the thing they've already been doing.
Yeah, kind of like me.
Yep. All right. How about this? Let's play a little. I like my women like I like my blank.
Great.
All right.
Supervisors. I like my women like I like my houseboats.
I like my women like I like my houseboats. large and unwieldy.
Nice.
I like my women like I like my houseboats, permanently docked.
All right. I like my women like I like my houseboats. They usually have a single older man living on them already.
I like my women like I like my houseboats. Often it's a last resort.
I like my women like I like my houseboats. If you have to go to the bathroom, it's going to be over the side. That's where I'm going with this one. I couldn't phrase it properly, but
it's so much more funny that you abandon the joke. It's so much more funny. Okay, I like my women like I like my hummingbirds. I like my women like I like my hummingbirds. Their arms move so fast you can't even see them.
Yeah, I like that. I like my women like I like my hummingbirds. Hollow bones.
Jesus, guys. Careful. I've got.
I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
I don't know, but you just look like the perfect murderer. Like I wish that I was producing a serial killer movie right now, Landon Kirksey, because you just locked the part down.
Great.
You're like, white male, late 30s, creepy as hell.
That's right.
Hollow bones. Well, we're not gonna move on from that one. I like my women like I like my breakfast cereals.
I like my women like I like my breakfast cereals with a prize toy inside.
Very nice.
Yes. Do they still do that?
I don't know.
I haven't eaten
Probably.
cereal. Yeah. I can't imagine kids are willfully eating their cereal now.
Well, I mean, it's all sugar, so I think it's their favorite meal of the day.
Oh, okay.
I like my women like I like my... Oh, good.
No, please.
I like my women like I like my breakfast cereals. I like to see their cheery face.
Okay, all right.
See why I wanted to yield to you?
Yeah, no, perfect. I like my women like I like my breakfast cereals, often with a racist cartoon mascot attached.
Is there an app for that?
Yeah, there should be.
Mascot match?
There should be. Onlyfarmers.com, something like that.
All right, how about I like my women like I like my curse words?
I like my women like I like my curse words embarrassed when I do it in front of my parents.
Right.
Yep.
That seems very normal, though.
I like my women like I like my curse words. Old-timey. It's like, because I like old-timey curse words.
Yeah. What's an old-timey curse word you like?
I don't know. Consarn it.
You're just pulling stuff from Yosemite Sam, aren't you?
Consarn it.
I don't know. Speaking of racist cartoon mascots.
Was he racist against redheads or something?
No, I think he was just racist.
Oh, he was, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He himself.
Got some real arguments with the NAACP. All right. Okay, let's, how about a discussion topic here? Here's one that's super relevant to everyone. How do you recommend people spend their time in this quarantine we're in?
Well, if you haven't been to the Atlantic, check that out. Because it's very, very exciting.
The Atlantic online, theatlantic.com.
Yes, nice. For sure.
I mean, people need to spend it whatever works for them. So let me just get that out.
Let me get the safe lawyer answer out. So y'all do whatever you want.
Some people like we're all dealing with like an unprecedented event that is like hasn't happened to anybody who's alive, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so we're dealing with emotions like if we're talking seriously, like some people are grieving in certain ways and some are others. That being said, not the way I've been dealing with it.
And how have you been dealing with it?
Oh, eating too much, not moving enough, and constantly checking for updated news on the crisis.
Gotcha. So you're feeding the fear into your limbic system constantly. I'm just like news, news, news. Got it. And yeah. All right, Landon, do you got any advice for people how they're spending their time?
Well, I think to piggyback off of that, I think it's a good point to say it's good to stay in touch with the news. I turn on the news once a day. And generally, well, maybe twice. I look in the morning to see if anything's exploded overnight, and then I'll check in the evening. The 5 o'clock news typically has had a press conference from our mayor, the mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, and then sometimes there'll be like another thing with Gavin Newsom, which, by the way, it's kind of alarming how many people or how few people have paid any attention to the local press conferences that have happened. I think it's hilarious when people get really upset about the national news, but then they don't know what's happening in their city. But anyway, that's beside the point. But I think it's important to not check in with the news all the time, because we could be reading things constantly. And like you said, feeding fear and anxiety into this whole thing, into ourselves, which is not good for us. And so I think like having that balance, like finding a way to escape while you're at home, you know.
Yeah.
Because honest to God, the best thing you can do is stay at home. Really, like it's like the easiest thing in the world, and yet it is very difficult to do. So, you know, staying at home is hard. But look, we've got more media than we'll ever be alive to see. So, so you could, you know, catch up on these shows. You could play like I play a lot of video games. I haven't even played that much, but you know, we've been watching shows. We've been like, you know, hanging out. Like, I don't know, like there's so much stuff that you could be consuming. The media part of it is really, you know, we're well equipped for all of that.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to like stay on CNN or something. And CNN's not the worst of them by far, but you know, it's very easy to just fall into that media trap. And then you think, oh man, the whole thing is really bad and crazy, which it is, but you know, we can have some balance.
It's like if the thing that we're called to do, which literally all the experts are saying, the best thing you could do is stay at home. Like there's really, if there's nothing we can go out and do, then it seems like, okay, then the least we could do is help ourselves and not like worry so much, even though it's extremely troubling times, you know, if you can balance that, which isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do.
Well, and this thing is great. I mean, being able to talk to y'all, like, I mean, our lives and our profession is sort of, it hinges on social interaction. And so I think more so than maybe, I don't know about y'all, but like more so than I even thought, because I think like, oh, sure, I can stay at home, no problem. But then you really start like getting, you know, withdrawals from just seeing people or, you know, hanging out with people or joking around or whatever it is. Right. So I think that part of it and finding new ways to connect to people, even though, you know, video conferencing and stuff, it's not going to be the same, but maybe it's fun in a different way. You know, like I think that there's plenty of opportunity here for connection.
One thing I love about video conferencing is like, you know, I love hanging out with both of you, and yet to get the three of us to have the same schedules to where we could all like meet up for a drink or something, pretty difficult. Right now, in order for us to do this, like it wasn't that hard. The first time I proposed to both of you, you're like, yeah, it'll work. Like, because you know, so many things are canceled, and so it's like it's not as good as in person, but it's pretty. There's some advantages,
right? Yeah, you're right. Like the hilarious thing about all this is like, my dance card is empty. I don't have anything going on. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Will I be home? Yes, I will. You know, like so. There's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did when I realized that this was going to go on. Like I seriously, I don't know about you guys. My guess is you haven't, but I've already put on weight for this fucking quarantine.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I already had stayed at home a week before, like when LA kind of started to shut down before like Newsom did the thing.
Yeah.
And by the way, to what you were saying, Landon, I was thinking about this when you said it. I think one of the reasons people might not be paying as much attention to Garcetti or Newsom is because when I watch them, I'm like, oh, okay, they got it under control. They know what they're doing. You know, like they're doing something good. It seems like, even listening to Cuomo, I'm the same way. I'm like, all right, they got that city has someone, or the state has someone, but at the federal level, I'm not seeing that, and so I'm more drawn to hear, like, is that ever going to turn around on the federal level?
Yeah.
So I'm more inclined to watch the federal, at the national level, those news conferences than I am the locals.
For sure, I totally get it. And also, I'll say this, like, I don't really care politically one way or the other, but the way that Garcetti handled this whole situation was bananas. Like, in saying like that we're not going to be on lockdown, where we're essentially marching towards a stay-at-home order, and then he had trouble with the semantics of shelter in place versus lockdown versus whatever. And it's like, it doesn't matter, dude. Like, everybody's going to stay home. That's the thing. But him dragging his feet really made people not stay home. So, that was the thing. But either way, I think it's important to know, like, what the hell your city's doing, and also like local closures like Runyon Canyon and things like that, and Griffith Park and stuff. Like, just kind of cool to see the updates, like what's happening now, or whatever.
All right, we're near the end of our time here, so I just wanted to.
Well, that was a hilarious discussion. That was a hilarious and informative discussion.
Like, that's the thing is, it doesn't have to be like, I'm not going for hilarious. I'm going for fun and flow, and to me, that's flow and love. I love it. I love it. Let's go out with some improv, shall we? I call these 30-second scenes. I'm going to give you like a heavy premise for a scene, and you two just like rock out a quick scene. Cool. You are two cops who are not really listening to each other at all. Go.
This lady out here, she was she's really telling him move the cart. I'm not gonna move the cart. That guy's homeless. I don't know where he's been. I'm just saying. I just think it's crazy,
My wife keeps telling me the same thing. I shouldn't be coming out here on a nightly basis, getting myself almost killed. That I should actually retire and do something else.
These gloves aren't thick enough. I'm just saying these gloves are not thick enough, and there's no way that I can. I don't know what's going through. They're porous.
And another thing, I am tired of coming here for coffee. In this day and age, there are lots of better places that we can go to than 7-Eleven.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Do you see how many bags she had stacked up in that cart? It was like,
okay, cool. We'll stop.
So many bags.
That's amazing. We'll do one more.
I could do that for 4 hours.
Landon used to be a cop. Okay.
How about you two this one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a scenario?
No, I don't.
Great.
I don't have.
Great. Then come in with a third if you want to.
All right.
Landon, we are two mosquitoes contemplating existence.
Got it.
It's like I suck the blood, and then I'm full of blood, and then later I gotta suck it again.
What do we got, like 2 weeks? We got 2 weeks to live, man.
If you make it into old age, you got 2 weeks. But
Have you thought about this? We're never gonna retire.
Oh God, did you see? He just killed Dottie. The guy just killed Dottie.
It's not surprising. Dottie got arrogant. Dottie got arrogant. Just come back to the light. Come back to the light.
Oh God, I'm afraid. Jimmy, I'm afraid I'm not much longer for this world. Do you think that after we die, we go somewhere?
Get the dog. Go get the dog. Go.
Okay. I'll go bite the dog. Get me straight. All right, see, nice. You guys have been super fun.
How about you two? How about the world famous Rolland and Riches? Let's get a Rolland and Riches scene in here.
Oh gosh.
You are two wealthy energy magnates at a energy conservation ball.
I do say, everything's going quite splendidly, don't you think, Jenkins?
I see that our numbers are going up every day. I have made just this morning alone another $1 million.
Let us get two homeless gentlemen to fight for our amusement.
Again? Fine. Let's do it. You look homeless. Come here.
Come here.
I'm a caterer.
Perfect. Would you like to make $1 million?
How would you like to make $1,001,001?
I will go with this gentleman.
Great.
Kill my friend.
Same.
You guys are awesome. Anything you want to plug? I don't know if it's going to. I mean, some people are going to watch this. Hopefully. Anything you want to plug?
I got a voiceover class coming up on the 6th.
Yeah, you're teaching it online.
Yep, that's remote. We're going to do it through Zoom, just like this thing, and that's actually really good because voiceover, you can do at home, and it actually makes a lot of sense to do that remotely because I want to hear people's setups. I mean, even if you don't have the best setup, part of the class is to understand what it is to build a home studio and to have it. You don't have to have anything elaborate, but it actually makes a lot more sense to do these kinds of classes remotely than it does in person. So yeah, that's happening April 6th. You can go to westsidecomedy.com to find that information. It's under classes, and I believe it's under online classes, so you don't have to leave your house for that sort of a thing. Nice. That's all I got right now because nothing else is happening.
I will be every night on every weeknight from 8 to 10. I'll be watching Pornhub. So
stay at home.
I believe you mean stay at home.
Stay at home.
I know you're lying
because I'm
not
familiar with.
There you go. Landon's never heard of it. He's got goldfish and manwich to eat. All right, guys. Thanks for being part of the very first Rich and Friends. Later.
Thanks for the invite.
Later.